Başтай vereyik de. Başтай vereyik. Ben қазір sizге söz vereyim. Okay, Angelina, I would like to suggest that you should
Welcome. Welcome everybody to the third University Alliance of the Silk Road Executive Council meeting. So I've been asked by the rector to help in moderating the session. And so firstly, I would like to welcome all of you again, and I would like to invite Rector of Abu Dhabi National University, Professor I'm sorry, I'm not too good at pronouncing it. Mutanov to give the welcoming speech.
Not speech desk. Құрметті біздің қонақтарымыз, барлықтарыңызға қош келдіңіз деп айтқым келеді. Уважаемые наши гости, позвольте от имени Казахского национального университета приветствовать вас в стенах нашего университета. Для нас это высокая честь принимать членов Альянса университетов стран Шелкового пути. И главное, мы продолжаем нашу работу двигаться от Сиана в сторону Запада. Вот это наша третья встреча, которая проходит в стенах нашего университета. Dear members of the Executive Committee of the Silk Road Alliance of Universities, ladies and gentlemen, let me heartily welcome you and all participants of the Executive Committee meeting at Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. It is symbolic that this meeting is taking place in the days when the representatives of more than 100 countries from around the world are presenting their greatest achievements in science and technology on future energy at Expo in Astana. Since joining the University Alliance of the Silk Road, Al-Farabi Kazakh National University has become and remains the active participant of this great initiative. And it is a great honor for us to welcome the designated university members of the Alliance EO students at the International Summer School devoted to green energy, as well as the Silk Road International Youth Forum, Future Life, Future Leaders, uniting more than 120 participants. I am pleased to state that Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, Global Hub of United Nations, Academic Impact Program on Sustainable Development, is actively involved in many initiatives with the desire to contribute to the sustainable development in the world. So, we are open for collaboration and ready to propose and support joint projects. Concerning this, we have two proposals. During the last visit of Chairman Xi Jinping to Astana in June 2017, there was an important agreement signed. The subject is that the Chinese part supplies Al-Farabi Kaznu with supercomputer, with the to aim establish IT Technopark of the Silk Road Universities Alliance. The second concerns the mass open online courses. The representative of our university will present the more details during the meeting. Let me express the hope that the proposed topics will be our contribution to building and sustainable and lasting peace and partnership all along the Silk Road. I wish all the participants the successful and fruitful work. Thank you for attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Mutanov. And I think we are very happy that Al-Farabi National University is keen to support this Silk Road, University Alliance of the Silk Road, and will be able to contribute their part by proposing the establishment of an alliance around the IT Techno Park. So I think later on we can discuss further on this concept and see how we can work around this. So thank you very much for your offer. And thank you for hosting us. So before we start the meeting, should we go around to introduce ourselves? So I'm Angelina Yun, Vice President of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and our university is a member of this alliance.
My name is Mukash Burkitbayev. I'm first Vice Rector of Al-Farabi Kazakh National University.
My name is Sergei Korshunov, Vice Rector, Bauman Moscow Technical University, Moscow, Russia.
My name is Viktor Timofeev. I'm a head of Department for International Academic Development of Bauman Moscow State Technical University, Moscow, Russia.
I am Sondan Durukanoğlu Faiz, Vice President of Sabancı University, responsible for education, Istanbul, Turkey.
My name is Kabul Ramazanov. I am a Vice Rector for Science and Research of Al-Farabi Kazakh National University.
Good afternoon. I'm Nora No, the Director of Chinese Mainland Affairs Office from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Eric, the Associate Director of International Affairs from the Polytechnic University.
Good afternoon. I'm Justina Yong from Hong Kong Polytechnic University. I'm the manager for the Belt and Road Liaison Units.
My name is Rafi Sabazov. I'm a visiting professor and the co-director for summer school at Al-Farabi Kazakh National University.
My name is Oskar Hikmetov. I am Vice Rector for Academic Affairs.
Hello, my name is Elvira Svetlova. I'm Director of Almaty Representative Office of Nazarbayev University.
Hello, I'm Natalia Savchenko. I'm from Moscow Power Engineering University, and I'm a Director of Fortune Department of Postgraduate Study.
Pavel Romanov, St. Petersburg Polytechnical University.
Hi, I'm Mavluda Saturova, Senior Lecturer in Law, University of Liverpool.
Dina Birch, Pro-Vice Chancellor for Research and Impact from the University of Liverpool in the UK.
Tamer Samir, Dean Faculty of Applied Arts, Banha University, Egypt.
Ghazi Assasa, Advisor to Banha University, President for International Relations.
I am Saeed Al-Adi, President for Banha University from Egypt.
Okay, so thank you very much for your introduction. So today we have received apologies from some network members that are not able to come. And very unfortunately, our the president unit, that is Xi'an Jiao Tong University, the vice president and their staff cannot come because they cannot get the visa. And also from Harbin University of Science and Technology, both university from China, and they have difficulty in getting visa. And so they would like to send their apology, but Professor Xi, the vice president, he's got a videotape message for us later on. And also Washington U. St. Louis, Milano Polytechnic, Pusan National University of Korea, National University of Science and Technology of Pakistan, and University of New South Wales cannot send a representative this time, so they would like to send their apology, but we will give them the minutes as soon as possible. And they indicate that they are very keen to support this alliance. Okay, so the first item, I think all of you have this agenda in front of you. So after the welcome remark by President, now we have the review of the meeting minutes. And I assume all of you should have received the minutes of the meeting beforehand. Have you received all the minutes of the meeting? Okay, so the last meeting was held in Hong Kong, in Hong Kong Polytechnic University last November. And so we discussed on, basically most of the members were around, and we discussed on the future direction, because that was the second meeting that we have. So we discussed on what we could do. So I think we have discussed on several items. For example, we would like to strengthen, further consolidate our summer school, and today we are having a summer school here. And also, we would like to develop some round table on some research area interests. And also, today we can discuss more about the possible topics of the round table meeting. And then the third thing we discuss is about the new initiatives that member schools can propose or suggest. So today we are very glad that Nazarbayev National University is proposing a new initiative. And I think we can propose new initiative afterwards, you know. So I think basically last time it was a very good brainstorming session, and after that I think many of us have followed up on the suggestions and go back and discuss with their respective universities and come back with good suggestions. So today is a meeting whereby we can, this is the third meeting, and we hope that we can develop very concrete plan and we can follow up and implement with a timetable. Okay. And so we come to the third item, that is the message as well as the report from Xi'an Jiao Tong University, Professor Xi. So can we have the video of Professor Xi? So he would like to express, he tried his very best until Friday, 5:30 p.m. So he gave us a desperate message saying that they could not get the visa. So I think that's a problem. And actually, probably this is one of the issues that we can pick up in future. That is, if we want to have better relationship or communication among universities along the Silk Road, probably we need to do something to quicken the process. Okay, so this is Professor Xi.
My name is Xi. First, I would like to congratulate for the opening of the third council meeting of the Alliance. Also, I would like to thank the hard working of our foreign.
So that is Professor Shi, and he has sent his apology, and he has asked me to help him to chair the meeting, and then also he's giving a PowerPoint to me that I have to present to you about the new developments. It's in Chinese. Anyway, I'm going to translate it. Okay. So actually, there has been a lot of developments going on. And given the fact that this is a new alliance, and we have so many members, we have 134 at least, I think more are joining. So we have a very large number of networks. But we are glad that we have a smaller steering committee of 18 members, of which you are a member. So this is the group that is going to steer the whole development of the alliance. Okay? So I think I better press it like, oh, Nico. Okay. So this one is the report from Xi'an Jiaotong University, the President Unit, and it says from a dream to action. That is, how do we it all started from a dream and then now become action. So what have we done during the last few months, last year? Okay, so this is the dream. That is President Xi Jinping of China. He announced the establishment of this One Belt, One Road initiative in Kazakhstan. So that's why Kazakhstan is so very important to the development of the Belt and Road initiative, because he announced this Belt and Road initiative in Nazarbayev University. And I think you are going to visit Nazarbayev University. Are they going to take a picture there? So that is the university where President Xi announced this initiative. And actually there are, the definition of the Silk Road, the One Belt, One Road, is getting more and more broad. Originally, it comes from China, go to all the way from to Italy to Eastern Europe. But it seems that more and more countries are interested to join this Belt and Road initiative. And so now it become much more embracive. So we have representatives from England, for example, Northern Europe and Australia, and even USA joining. And you can see that recently in the summit held in Beijing, there are representatives from almost all the major countries from the world. And the purpose of the Belt and Road Initiative is that we can learn from each other. It's a win-win situation that we can gain from this initiative. And more importantly, we learn to become accommodative, and also is peaceful collaboration. And now that reporting on the University Alliance, we call it the USA, University Alliance of the Silk Road. Up to today, there are 135 universities in this alliance, coming from 35 countries. And then all of us have joined in signing this Xi'an Declaration, which was announced 2 years ago. And this declaration sort of reinforced the message that we are going to collaborate together through education, research, through higher education sector along the Silk Road. Okay, so for the establishment, the structure, the infrastructure, the Xi'an Jiaotong University has established a secretariat in their university, and the secretariat is in charge of all the communication liaison, all the administrative support. And we have also formed a standing committee with 6 members, of which this standing committee will sort of deal with the day-to-day administration. And that consists of Xi'an Jiaotong University, Harbin University of Science and Technology, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Al-Farabi University, and Bauman University of Moscow. Okay, so these are the standing committee that deals with the day-to-day administration and quick decisions, but we have a steering committee of which you are a member. Okay, and then some recent developments. Firstly, let's see. They have been doing some training center. So they have established a training center in collaboration with the United Nations, UNESCO, to develop Belt and Road initiatives, especially relating to engineering talents relating to engineering. And also, they have established several forums that some of us have attended, the forums that they organize, and also some student activities. And also, they have received some donations because we need donations to support the work. And of course, besides donations, they have received support from the local, from the provincial government and national government as well. Okay, so. So they have signed all these MOUs with the Ministry of Education. And also recently, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University and the Xi'an Jiaotong University have jointly established a Silk Road School, International School of Engineering, Silk Road University, Silk Road International School of Engineering. And we have just signed the contract, and we hope that all of you can take part in this initiative as well. So this become a platform whereby we can offer training as well as the award-bearing programs that target at training talents from Belt and Road countries. Okay, and you can see on the right that some of you have attended. We have a President's Forum a few months ago in Xi'an, and whereby we discussed about possible collaboration. And also during that forum, there was a competition, student competition on robotic construction. And I think many universities send their teams. So Xi'an Jiaotong University is proposing that this robotic competition will become an annual event, so that every year we have a summer school, Silk Road Summer School, as well as a robotic competition. So these will become regular functions that we can send our students. And lastly, he would like to report that actually this University Alliance of the Silk Road has received a lot of attention and support from national, provincial, and international media. So there are many, many reports that talk about this establishment of this University Alliance of the Silk Road. So the user will become something really important. And you can see that actually in the, thank you. And actually in the summit that was held in Beijing, that I'm sure many of you have heard about that and saw it on the television, you can see that this is an extremely high-level summit. And then President Xi of China was the chair, and he invited representatives from different countries to attend. And there were only 3 universities from China that were invited. And the most important one is Xi'an Jiaotong University. And you can see that even in the logo of the Belt and Road Summit, the middle building is the Dayan Ta, the whatever bird temple, pagoda in Xi'an. So Xi'an occupies the main position, the most important position in this Silk Road initiative. Okay, so I think that is the report from Xi'an Jiaotong University about recent developments of user. Okay. Any question you would like to ask? Yes, I try to answer.
Yeah. Benha University, Egypt. Thank you for your summary about the status of the recent development. I would like to know, how would you like to encourage member university to collaborate for the innovation? Should we establish a work group under innovation title? Or what do you propose?
Actually, I think this is the committee that we can talk about our proposal. But I had a long telephone discussion with Professor Xi after, he told me the bad news that he cannot come. So I said that we better discuss and see what are the views that I can communicate to all of you. And so I think we have the common consensus that because we have a very large network, 135, which is extremely large, but it is good. So we have a broad-based sort of network. So these, many of the members that belong to the network, they can participate in some of the more broad-based activities, like the robotic competition, like the summer school, etc. So we can create something that everybody can come. And then they can, get information, and, if they want to know more information about a certain country, certain university, that we can become the sort of super connector. So that is the broad-based sort of platform that we create. But we need to do something in depth. So we are hoping that we can develop some sub-forums, so like the roundtable. So today we can discuss on what are the sub-forum or the roundtables that we can propose. For example, we can have several themes like energy, like construction, like heritage, etc. All these have each university can say something if you have done something already. If not, it's okay. Yeah. So who would like to start first? Yeah. So you introduce yourself.
Thank you. So I'm Dinah Birch from the University of Liverpool in the UK. And we have been focusing our thinking on a proposed roundtable on the theme of heritage. I brought with me a very brief summary of what we have in mind, just a single sheet of paper. So I'll pass that round now. But we do also have this, obviously, electronically, and I can circulate it afterwards. If you could just take one copy and pass it on. But just to summarize what we have in mind, heritage, broadly conceived, is a very important research priority for our university and for other universities in Europe and the UK. It's becoming a leading focus for research, not only in arts and humanities, but across disciplines. For instance, the archaeologists work with scientists to construct different narratives around heritage. We're also very interested in what's often called intangible heritage. That is not just the heritage of artifacts, buildings, constructions, things you can touch, but also heritage around music, for instance, literature, folklore, the history of dance, a whole range of cultural activities that contribute to the identity and the sense of confidence and self-worth across a range of international communities. So what we would like to propose is a round table that will be hosted by us, by Liverpool in the UK. You'll see that we have here a proposed date, rather vague as yet, spring 2018, but that isn't fixed, and obviously we will want, as Angelina has suggested, to talk about how we could work together to put together a timetable of activities so that we're not, as it were, all clashing with each other. We haven't as yet devised a formal agenda of activities for the roundtable because we would like to consult with you, our fellow partners in the alliance, as to what would be most interesting and most productive. You'll see that I've designated a few key questions on the information that I have given you. How is heritage shared? How is it collected, curated? How might it be written or performed? Because, of course, heritage can be performed and often is. How can we as universities best contribute to the effective curation, to the preservation, to the development, and indeed to the dissemination of different forms of heritage? It would be interesting also to hear what initiatives are already underway in universities that are part of the Alliance, because many universities, as we know, are engaged with the study of heritage, and how can we learn from each other, our different experiences, the challenges that we have confronted within different national cultures in thinking about issues of heritage. And of course, most importantly, how can we work together? How can we support each other in identifying, supporting, and taking forward our work under this very broad heading of heritage across our alliance? So we in Liverpool are excited about this. We do think that this is an area of research that ought to be defined in international terms rather than simply national terms. We would be very interested, for instance, to hear from any universities that have been working with UNESCO around definitions of World Heritage sites, which is an area that's quite controversial in some ways, but important and interesting intellectually as well as in practical terms. There are also really, for many of us, important economic issues around the conservation and dissemination of heritage. Issues, for instance, around tourism, the visitor economy, how we preserve heritage for our own national communities, but also how we can preserve and communicate heritage for those who want to visit from around the world, and what stories we can tell those visitors in order to lead them to a stronger understanding of national identities and national cultures. There are many benefits to be derived from a coherent and really, to use that word that Angelina used, a smart approach to heritage. Different kinds of heritage, urban heritage is important here, and tourism within cities obviously generates a very great deal of economic activity, but also heritage in rural areas or in provincial areas, and how heritage can help the economic development and growth of areas that sometimes very much need that help. Xi'an, and Angelina has mentioned the importance of Xi'an, are particularly interested in this area of work. Of course, as we all know, Xi'an is a crucial center of work in this area in China. We're very fortunate in Liverpool in that Xi'an are going to send to us, because we've been working with them on areas of heritage, some of their famous terracotta warriors. We're going to host some of them in Liverpool as one way in which we can demonstrate, not just to Liverpool, but to the UK. There's an enormous amount of interest that heritage is something that spans continents. So we have been working with Shan, with the university, and work between the cities more generally. And I'm particularly sorry, it can't be helped, but I'm sorry that Harbin are not able to attend this meeting, because I was talking to the delegation from Harbin in our last meeting in Hong Kong, and they too are particularly interested in constructing, disseminating new ways of identifying their sense of heritage, in that they are a city, unlike Xi'an, that has not in the past really given much collected thought to what they can do with their really very strong and fascinating and distinctive heritage. So an example of a partner who's wanting to find new ways of making heritage a really important asset in the work of the university in the region and further afield. So I'll stop there. I'll try to answer any questions that you may have, but obviously we can continue conversations offline. I can send you more information, but we are very optimistic about what we could achieve were we able to host the roundtable that we have in mind in 2018. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I think this is a wonderful idea, because I think along the Silk Road, there should be a lot of interest on the topic of heritage. And we can start from something small, but gradually it can cover a lot of areas. So what are your response?
Let me say some words concerning the heritage. It's a good idea, and I would like to mention that our university have a good experience, because we are dealing with the heritage of Al-Farabi.
Yes.
This is a philosophy thinker, and because our university named after Al-Farabi, and we decided to be the world center for studying Al-Farabi heritage.
Yeah.
And many researchers are supporting us to reach it. Every year we are organizing International Al-Farabi Forum, and usually it's the first week of April, and many researchers who are dealing with the study Al-Farabi heritage are coming to us, and it was a very interesting forum, because not just from Arabic countries or from Central Asia countries, but also European philosophy made a good research in dealing with Al-Farabi. And in my university, we have translated Al-Farabi into Chinese languages recently with the support of our friend from Lanzhou University. And we implement the Al-Farabi philosophy to our educational activity process. And we create a new platform for university develop. It's titled Al-Farabi University Smart City.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good platform, because on that platform we have two very important sides. One of the technological, because young generation should be very good educated in that area. And another one is youth should have a good, spiritual value, spiritual humanitarian value. Because Al-Farabi mentioned that the knowledge without education is very dangerous. It's really, and just educated person, knowledgeable person, and all that person should have a good humanitarian spirit value, first. And in that cases, we are ready to share our experience with you, and also we'll be very happy if you will join around Al-Farabi heritage. For example, this is a very important now because with conflict between East and West becoming to more strong. Philosophy of Al-Farabi is important because he wrote that every person who was born should be happy. But what the society should do for that? And he explained, every person should find the friends from another person. And step by step, we could create the virtuous society. Because it's ideal, but in common, it's very right. Not just make a remark to our university's experience.
I guess because of the shortness of time, we can only devote like 10 minutes to discussing each item. So I wonder if there are other parties or other universities that might like to indicate whether they support this area. Heritage. Because I think Xi'an Jiao Tong University should be very interested.
They are interested, you know.
And
yes.
also I think PolyU is very interested.
Yeah.
Because actually our Dean of Humanities visited here last week, you know. And we have a very large, not large, yours is large. We have the only Confucius Institute in Hong Kong, and we are very interested to study on the issue of heritage as well as language, you know. And so I guess PolyU will be interested in joining this area, and so is Al-Farabi, and I guess Xi'an Jiao Tong University and Sabanchi. Yeah. So that's
yes.
Good.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, so Sabanji will be part of this roundtable discussion too. No doubt about it.
Thank you. And I know that we have academics working at Liverpool who do have connections with heritage studies in Turkey generally.
Yeah.
So that will be very helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for attending this meeting, and also I need to mention about what Banha University did in the last year for the Silk Road meeting. Banha University compromised or signed more than 15 MOU with China universities, and more than 36 students from China came to Egypt to educate Arabic language. Also, 20 research place for Egyptian students in the China universities, especially in veterinary field, food field, engineering field, especially in energy and new energy. Also, we forward to more collaboration with Silk Road universities, and I search about places for our students in Banha University to do a postgraduate research in Silk Road universities. Also, Banha University ready to accept any students to need to educate Arabic, or also Banha University opened last year a department for China language, Japanese language, and also we supported by some staff, 2 or 3 approximately staff members from China. Also now, today, we signed a memorandum with Al-Farabi university for this purpose, for students and staff exchange and collaboration in research also. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to attend this meeting.
Later on, we can discuss on all the scholarships and opportunities that we can share among each other. So, going back to the issue of heritage, it seems that there is interest. And so probably we will not dwell on how to do it because you have already got a plan. So probably what we should do is that we talk about the different possible roundtables that we can suggest. And then I guess all the roundtables should have, for example, we should have a leader and then should have more than one leader. You know, for example, one university will start, but at least we have one or two more universities supporting, helping. And then also probably we can talk about the resources, whether that university will be able to put in a little bit of resources, like when the meetings being held in that city, then you can support the ground logistics. Whereas the other money, I think the members should chip in. And then also, for example, like duration or whatever, the procedure of doing so. I guess when we have developed several roundtables, then we can develop a set of procedures and template for the different roundtables so that each one will have a good governance and making sure that it's sustainable. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're happy that at least you know, Liverpool University, Xi'an Jiao Tong, I think, and then PolyU and Harbin yeah, okay. And Al-Farabi is definite, and Sabanci University. And so these are the universities that have indicated interest. And I guess you can start from here and then gradually see whether other universities would like to join in. Yeah. So I'm sure Egypt, yeah, you'll be interested. Yeah. Because I'm sure you have very rich heritage. So Ben-Hur University will be interested as well. So we at least we have a number of universities that we can get started. And the roundtable will be on tomorrow, next year. Okay, thank you very much.
Let me make some additional. So it's very important that the result of roundtable should be the design of the joint international projects, because if we would like to fund money, we should first present a project and then ask money. Yeah, and now I think we could fund the money from international funds or maybe funds from every country, but the end point should be project proposal.
Yes, I entirely agree with that. But otherwise, we simply spend the time talking to each other, which is very interesting, very valuable, but doesn't necessarily lead to purposeful activity. So the primary purpose of the proposed roundtable, on the basis of the discussions that I hope it will generate, would indeed be to put together a specific project, perhaps not on a very grand scale, in the first instance, because these are things that need to grow and develop, but something fairly manageable, feasible, to help to build a platform of trust between the partners that we can then go on to take forward. But I will clearly circulate information around partners, members of the executive committee who can't attend today, to ensure that everybody has the information. It may very well be that there are partners who would like to be active within this activity who haven't had the opportunity of hearing about it today. So we'll follow up in that way. Thank you, Angelina.
Yeah. And I assume that the leader, the one that initiate, might come from the steering committee, but it should be open to the network. So after we have formulated some roundtable sort of proposals, and then we can circulate around and see which are the universities that would like to join. But I think I personally would like to suggest that we have to make sure that universities joining have the track record and have the interest. because otherwise we have so many members, and if they just take everyone, then we are in trouble. I guess we need to ensure that the members of, because roundtable are small, and we want to ensure that those joining the roundtable should have the expertise and the track record and the keen interest to join. You know, we can develop the sort of procedures later on. Okay, so thank you very much, Liverpool University, for giving this excellent idea. So can I ask Vice Rector Mahash to talk about report on Al-Farabi? You have some suggestions that Rector have just mentioned, but maybe you can elaborate a little bit.
First of all, I would like to mention that Al-Farabi University took part at all the events organized by University Alliance. And then just today, we are happy to announce that 2 events are successfully finished. One is a summer school devoted to the green energy, and another one, future life and future leaders. And as my rector mentioned, we have several initiatives, and we would like to announce it for your consideration. One of is that dealing with establishing of International IT Technological Park of the Alliance of University of the New Silk Way. Why our rector decided to organize such international technopark? Recently, Benjamin and our president have a meeting in Astana at the official ceremony opening Expo. And in the frame of that meeting, the very important memorandum have been signed between the government of China and the Kazakhstani government. And according to that memorandum, China government is going to give to Al-Farabi University supercomputer. And here is the official document, and as you can read it in Russian, in English, and in Chinese, the first item is directly oriented to Al-Farabi University, and that Al-Farabi University will receive supercomputer. You can see the signature of our Minister of Education and Science and the Chinese Minister of Trade and Commerce. And we do hope that we will deliver that supercomputer in coming autumn, in September or maybe October. And what is very important? Because the capacity of that supercomputer is very huge. It's just 1 or 2 maybe supercomputers in the world. And we have enough capacity to connect all the universities of our alliance. It's 135 universities. And what we decided to do it, because of course we have organizing small groups for working in one area, or we have a bilateral links, but initiative of our university is to make the long-term and sustainable to all relations between our university. And as you see, the purpose is creation such good platform. On the base of that platform, we could design many research projects together in many kind of science, including humanitarian, natural science, and everything. Because I would like to mention again, this is a huge supercomputer. And the benefit of that cooperation will receive every participant to that platform. And also, for example, in my university, well-known world industrial companies like Samsung, HP, Intel, Alcatel, they have a educational training center. We could collect it together. Yeah? And also, recently we met president of Timothy Tong, and he told us that you have a database, and the database will be also one of the part of that IT, International IT Alliance University. Yeah, database. And of course, this is a component of IT Technopark. This is the same at the supercomputer technoparks in all the world. We have all the components and laboratory for research and the development for commercialization part to organizing startup companies, which is growing and transformed to the spin-off companies. And also IT Technopark could make a lot of services activity. In that cases, for example, your experience in the service learning will be extremely useful. And also, using this Technopark, we could make some products to the open market. I would like to mention again, to the benefit of all the universities who will be involved to that project. And as for university, we fix the place where the supercomputer will be located, and we prepare all the infrastructure. And we are working for how to modernize it. It will be very modern and very like that. You see, this is our view of Technopark location. Yeah. And it's our dreams that so working accelerating spaces should be like that. But its idea is very easy to realize. If we will have space, we could buy everything. And such kind of machinery, we bought it ready. It's ready for work, to make some goods for market system. And of course, this is outside of IT Technopark. And of course, we understand that we have small problems. By the way, after the cooperation, all these problems will be solved. We are to cooperation is connect our platforms on massive online courses. I know that in every country we have their national platform for massive open courses, and in my university we are also responsible for national MOOC for universities of Kazakhstani. And the suggestion is to use such kind of possibility to set up programs which we are needed, courses which we are needed. For example, I know that many European countries and also universities of our alliance are very much interested of the Central Asia study from many point of view, economical, political, historical, heritage maybe. And we are ready to set up all our courses dealing with that topics to your massive online courses platform. Or for example, we are very interested in service learning. For developing countries, service learning is absolutely interesting, and because a lot of employability are working at the service sphere, In developed country is maybe more than 60% of population are working. And how to use that possibility to be employed, to find a job. And in that case, we will ask you to implement these courses to our massive online course. Why not? Yeah. And such an initiative, it's I have been at the second meeting, and we were just talking that we needed to collaborate, we needed to work in research and social engagement, everything. But we never write some like memorandum of cooperation and signed by the all member of executive committee. So for your consideration, we designed such kind of document, but just for consideration, because maybe we made some incorrection, so we will wait your additions, corrections, and after that we could sign it, and it will be a law base for our cooperation. So it is a memorandum of cooperation among all the universities of our alliance. So shortly, this is our initiative from my university. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So a lot of, but probably we focus on the idea of the IT Techno Park, and this is a huge project. So I'm glad that you are very generous in proposing that you can share this with us. That is, I assume you are saying that after you have built this IT Techno Park, then members can come to make use of this one. And I can see that you have startup, it's a one-stop service, that you have training, you have research, you have technology transfer, you have startup, everything included in this Park. So it seems that you are opening up this Park for the use of user member, is it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
of course. This is also the Technopark of University Alliance.
Yes. So I think I think most people will welcome such an idea, because it is we have a base in Almaty, and I'm sure probably because this is now just the beginning, and you haven't built up the building, so I suppose some of the universities might like to contribute to your development of this Park in the process. And I know that my president, Timothy Tong, was here last week, and so he has already indicated interest to support and see what we can offer. But I think probably some other universities who are strong in IT might like to, especially Russian universities, might be very interested in to offer your support or expertise in some regard. And I think that is possible. But also, after this has been built, then probably it can become an open platform whereby the Silk Road user members can come and join in some of the programs, because it might be very massive, and there can be student program, there can be training programs, and there can be MOOC program. I think there are so many. So probably we need to discuss a little bit more before we know which are the ones that we can zero in. Yeah, you want to say something? Yeah.
You're right. It is a very huge project. Yeah, so we just announced principal possibility to collaborate. This is a very active. Of course, step by step, we will fulfill that big project. But it's very important to start. Very important that every member of Alliance should understand that it is good for everyone university. This is a
contribute, yeah.
Thank you for this huge IT Technopark. It is a huge project. I have a question and I have a comment. The question, when do you expect starting date and ending date, period of execution? Is it 5 years, 10 years project, 3 years project?
Not, it is not 5 years. This is unlimited. Because if you will set up this project, our cooperation will be long-term and sustainable. Because supercomputers' capability will be enough for 20, 30 years. I would like to mention you.
So the starting date approximately within 1 year?
What the delivery will be in September maybe.
Okay.
We start.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And for September now we have worked very hard to prepare the location for supercomputer. And it's cost for supercomputer $10 million, and it will be very bad if you eat like a bottle of water stay without activity. So we needed to found that task. We needed to join our activity and make a profit for ourselves. Of course, before that, maybe we organized a special meeting of the experts who can understand enough for how to explode supercomputer. But the idea is to use it for the benefit of all the University Alliance.
The comment is on the MOOCs courses. It happens that these courses are developed by each university in the countries member of the Silk Road. But how could we share such experience, such product finally, for the benefit of our students? Is it possible, could we think of converting such courses into many languages that could be used in other universities on the Silk Road?
Sure.
So this is how? This is a project by itself. It could be a roundtable theme, MOOCs courses, how to be shared, we can, all of us benefit, all of us present and absent who couldn't attend this meeting, could benefit from Russian courses, from Turkish courses, from Hong Kong courses, etc., etc. We have a very wealthy courses, but locally used. Thank you.
Probably, I don't know, because this is your university's asset, and we are really happy that you are generous in sharing with us. So probably for the members, what we can contribute is that, say, when you have developed a platform, then they know that, I mean, our members are happy to know that they can come here and make use of this platform. And so probably after you have developed the structure, so some universities might be very interested in joining the MOOC. Like PolyU, we have already got some MOOC program already. For example, we have a hotel and tourism program. Now is, so many students. Yeah, I think it's over 500,000 or something. A lot of students from all over the world. It's free of charge, you know, we are offering it as a service. So, and I think many members have ideas to contribute in terms of MOOC. So I think that one will come a little bit later, but probably the most important thing is that in the construction or development of your IT techno park, in the process, some of the universities might be interested to offer some of the expertise they have. Like PolyU will be definitely interested, and I'm sure some other universities might be interested and give you some suggestions. And then gradually can open up to the other universities. What is this?
Thank you. I think this is a terrific initiative and really very ambitious. I find that I'm not quite clear as to the financial model that you're proposing here. This is a hugely valuable resource, just in terms of access to what is being offered. Are you proposing to establish a scheme whereby members of the alliance will be able to access the facilities of the supercomputer. Say if I had a group of academics in Liverpool who had a specific task that they would like the supercomputer to undertake, there would be, as it were, a list of charges that you would want to impose on a sliding scale according to the size of the task. Is that the kind of model that you have in mind?
For solving such kind problems, not questions, one of the good way to organize international board for managing supercomputer.
Yeah.
This is a very important. It is not our university's supercomputer, but if you belongs to all the universities, should be international board for, and the international board, of course, will design all the rules, how to use, how cost should be for something like that, because supercomputer need special services, and they need some financial support.
Indeed.
For that purposes, we should select, create the board, which expert in the work with supercomputer. This is important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. That sounds very sensible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think this project is so massive that probably we would not have the information, the detailed information to discuss it in detail today. But I think we definitely welcome, and we're extremely happy that you are offering this as something that will be accessible to the USA members, the University Alliance of the Silk Road members. And I think this is definitely something to be appreciated, because this is a very generous offer as a platform. Yeah.
I would like to also add that, at Sabancı University, we have a program called Big Data. So probably within the university and the alliance, and if they have big data programs, and if the supercomputing center can be used to store such big data within the countries, member countries, and then analyzing the data can have a huge effect on the society and the humanities. And one other thing I will do, as we do not know the details, I will go and talk to the responsible one for the research and the computational one, and then I will ask them to get in touch with you so that they can figure out how they can be part of this, operation.
So thank you very much. I think because this can be very massive, so I personally would think that there might be many, many projects to be generated from your project, from your InnoPark, but it might be beyond our ability. But for the Silk Road Alliance, at least you can have the big data relating to a lot of infrastructure development, education development, service development, medical development. I think if this InnoPark can become a basis whereby you collect the big data relating to cross-border data, and that will benefit the region, the Silk Road region. I think that would be great. You can develop medical database, and actually PolyU is also, we are starting a big data center as well. So I think we can link up, and then I think there's so many countries, more than 65 countries along the Silk Road, and if we can have a centralized sort of location whereby we can have a big data on different themes, I think that would be really great. Okay, so I think that will be a really good offer that we will definitely, I don't see anybody objecting. And so I think definitely that this will be something to be welcome, and this is the really great asset for the Alliance. Okay, is there another university that would like to present? Do you have anything to present? I think, PolyU, Laura would like to present something. Any other university? I just want to manage the time. I want to see who else would like to make some suggestion or presentation idea that you would like the Alliance to take up. So besides the heritage one, the IT Techno Park. Sabanchi, okay.
You know, we are at the age of transforming the education, and as the alliances, we have to think about how we can adapt our educational system, higher educational system, and if we can have a roundtable discussion on educational models in higher education. Now, we are discussing at Sabancı, and we are changing the things. So I'm sure the universities along the Silk Road should discuss the way we do teach, and the generational, we have to think about the generational differences. Now we are going towards the digital world, and I think this traditional way of teaching, lecturing the students, is not going to be type of the teaching. So probably a roundtable discussion on educational model in higher education would be another subject. This is my suggestion. Educational model in higher education.
Sabancı University is suggesting that we can develop a roundtable on education model, so on higher education. So probably this is an idea. So probably for the, you can come up with some proposal, write up on something like what Liverpool has done, and then maybe we can circulate and see when we are going to meet next time. If not, we can by circulation. Because I think if some of the members are interested in initiating a roundtable, and if you are able to sort of organize it and commit it to organize it for at least a number of years, then I think it can certainly be done. Okay. Laura, you would like to?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. The PolyU also has some idea to contribute, but before that, we would like to briefly recap what's happening in Hong Kong related to the user members. Yes. So we remember last November, we have the President Forum, User President Forum held in Hong Kong. Thank you for most of us, and then most of the university representatives attend the forum. After the forum, we actually produced a summary of the forum, all the speech, all the dialogues are here. So we bring all the hard copy. If you would like to get one hard copy, we will send to all of you. So later in Hong Kong, there is last time executive committee meeting. So we provide some roadmap of the user development. Also, in that evening, thank you for 4 of our user members. They sent the student teams to Hong Kong, and then we have a very good cultural performance gala show at night as a celebration for the PolyU 80th anniversary. Thank you very much for Alfarabi Kazakh National University. Thank you for the St. Petersburg Polytechnic University, and also Polytechnic Milano and Xi'an Jiaotong University. So this is some photos of the gala show. The 5 teams together with the PolyU give a very rich and fruitful performance, cultural performance in our campus. They are very happy. Other than the culture show, in this year, June, as one of the celebration for the PolyU 18th anniversary, we invite Asia University to come to participate in the men's basketball tournaments. Yeah, also the Alfarabi Qatar National University sent the teams to here, and together with 6 Asian universities. So this is all the exciting moments of our basketball team. So from these 2 events, we also think about that other than the research and student activity, maybe the culture and the sports is another theme we can think about to develop to enhance the communications and the student activities. Okay, now reporting about this year's summer school. This year's summer school is the 4th time the Silk Road International Summer School, starting on the 2nd July until the 29th July, totally 4 weeks. Over 135 students participate from Hong Kong, mainland, and also from Kazakhstan. The students first visit the Xi'an. There is 2 weeks in Xi'an, and then they go to Beijing. And then some of them come to Almaty here. We just finished the youth forum. And then later on, they will go to Astana. So the whole theme is from the previous capital to the current capital, from Xi'an to Beijing, and also from Almaty to Astana. So in the Xi'an, the 2 weeks, they study some credit-bearing subjects by lecturing and also discussion. Also in Xi'an, they visit some agricultural high-tech industrial demonstration zone in Xi'an, and visit some energy, the Western energy group in the Xi'an, because the whole theme of the summer school is related to future energy. After the Xi'an Park, the students go to the Beijing. Actually, that location is the venue for the high-level summit we just mentioned in China, the high-level international summit on Belt and Road held in the middle of May is the same value. So all the students organize the youth forum at the same value. Other than the youth forum in Beijing, we also visit the Beijing government, have some dialogue with the Beijing top officials, and also visit the entrepreneur hubs in the Beijing. And they also go to the Great Wall, and then also have some exchange activity with the local university students. So this is the Xi'an part and the Beijing part. Then the summer school also come to the Almaty for the Kazakhstan part, and then we just finished the youth forum in the morning. So this is what happened in the before for the student activity. Other than the student activity, we also have some research activity in the past 6 months. In the past 6 months, over 10 research students from the user member university come to Hong Kong Polytechnic University as an attached. And then they will stay in Hong Kong for 3 months, for 1 semester. They focus on the PhD student. So in the first semester, there are students from the Al-Farabi National University, and also second semester also from Al-Farabi. And then in coming semester, we will have a student from the St. Petersburg and also Al-Farabi. So come to the PolyU different department to attach for 1 semester. When they first come, we will have some welcome session for the PhD student to briefly introduce the Hong Kong environment and all the related informations. Then they will meet with the dean and professors of different faculties, and they had so many round tables in the Polytechnic University. More than that, we will also arrange some corporate visits for the PhD student. This is one of the leasing company in the Hong Kong, and we help them to connect with the Hong Kong Association. This is also a visit to the Shippers Council Association. Finally, they will also visit more think tanks, the think tank in the Hong Kong. And then later on, before they leave Hong Kong, we will have the farewell lunch plus the evaluation and feedback collection, so that the next round, the research attachment will be more successful and more fruitful to the student. So this is all happened in the past 6 months. What we would like to propose in the coming, including first, the student activity, based on the successful of the past 4 times of the Zero International Summer School, we'll hope to continue to organize such kind of the summer school. So this is as a culture exchange, continue to the Zero International Summer School, this first one. And then we hope, based on the past experience, in the coming summer school, we would like to open 20 to 30 quotas, the places for the whole user members, so that not just the few university students can enjoy the summer school, but all the user members can have opportunity to invite students to join the summer school. So later on, after finish this year, we will work out a proposal, and then through the secretary of the user to send to all members, mention how many quota and how is the financial arrangement. Basically, the financial arrangement will be the sending university may responsible for the traveling expenses. But for the local expenses, for example, in Xi'an, when they arrive Xi'an or arrive to Beijing, the local expense will be bear by PolyU and also Xi'an Jiao Tong University. Yeah, this may be the possible financial model to open up the summer school for all the user members. But later on, we will send a detailed plan through the secretary to all the members. Okay, this is one. Second, we will also propose to have some research collaboration and some roundtable. So this roundtable will focus on the cross-cultural and interdisciplinary study of the infrastructure development in the Belt and Road. Some of our chair professors already raised some basic research already happen in the PolyU. So we would like to expand and extend it to the Belt and Road universities. This purpose is to deepen the theoretical and practical understanding of the economic, social, environmental, cultural, and political issues involved in infrastructure projects under the Belt and Road Initiative. The project is to promote the collaboration and communication within cultural and professional device teams and create international environment for teaching and learning. Third, the roundtable would like to enhance the intellectual, intercultural, and global competence to understanding international affairs and on the field tangible expansion of the valuing cultural diversity and integration. So this is only the theme. So we would like to hear your feedbacks. If some universities are interested to join, the Poly will be the leading and then invite all to join to conduct this roundtable. The second theme we would like to propose is multilingual development in Belt and Road region. So the last one is infrastructure. This one is more related to culture and humanity. So one of our department is very keen to organize this research roundtable. It is to discuss on language-related issues, including writing system, technical jargons, language policy and practice. And it is to investigate national language and regional languages. Because in the Belt and Road, we have quite a few languages, different languages. So to study a multilingual development in the Belt and Road region is one of the very interesting and important topics to discuss. So this is the second theme roundtable we would like to propose. Oh, finally, in PolyU, we will also launch some fellowship scheme. The first is the Belt and Road Visiting Fellowship Scheme. We would like to delegate some quotas and to our user member and up to US 12,000 subsidized with accommodation covered, and then invite them to come to PolyU to stay 3 to 6 months. This one is the Belt and Road Visiting Fellowship Scheme. And second is continuous research attachment scheme. That means we invite the user member university to nominate the prestige PhD student to come to PolyU to stay for 3 to 6 months. And then all the expenses will be covered by the Polytechnic University. So this is a tool scheme we would like to offer and provide to user member to facilitate the research collaborations. So for more details, we will also send to all of the members through the secretary. So this is all from the PolyU. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So basically, I think for PolyU, we are committed to Belt and Road development. And actually, this is one of the themes of our next strategic plan. So we are going to invest a lot of energy and resources on this particular area. And just now, Laura have said that we hope that for the summer school that we are organizing this year, during the past few years, we would like to open up to user members. And I hope that like this year, we are collaborating with Alvarabi University as well. We used to collaborate with Xi'an Jiao Tong, so together with Alvarabi, and probably we can work out a system. And I hope you agree that, for example, we can offer some quota or some places to user members so that you can send your students But of course, I think we cannot afford to support all the students. Like for this time, we are supporting the airfare and everything. But I think for future, we might be able to provide some scholarships. But I mean, for other students, they might like to provide their airfare, and then we will try to find donations to support part of the expenses. So I think we can work it out, but make it, because many universities are very interested, to join this summer school. And I think the more the better, because we can have students sort of dialoguing with each other, networking with each other. So that is something that we would like to propose. Professor, are you agreeable to this?
Я спрошу про перевод, может, по-русски скажешь.
А я по-русски, они переводят.
Да? Окей.
Yeah.
Уважаемые коллеги, я попрошу наших друзей перевести мое русское на английский язык. Дорогие друзья, очень коротко, вот мне понравилось предложение о исследовании нашего наследия. Вот к этому я хочу предложить, кроме круглых столов, организацию совместных публикаций. Например, вот Великий Шелковый путь был организован, в основном для развития торговли. При этом развивался трансфер технологий. А мне кажется, что было бы интересно нам посмотреть, как Великий Шелковый путь в те годы влиял на развитие системы образования в мире. Он соединял Дальнюю Азию, Среднюю Азию, он соединял Европу, в которых существовали свои системы образования в то время. И вот было бы интересно, как наверняка вот эти процессы Шелкового пути, они влияли на развитие взаимовлияния, проникновения системы образования. Это первое предложение. Второе предложение, очень интересное предложение наших казахских друзей о создании вот такого инновационного технопарка. И как одну из задач большой базы данных можно было бы поработать, чтобы создать базу данных наших публикаций, преподавателей, ученых, университетов, входящих в альянс Шелкового пути. Дело в том, что все наши университеты заинтересованы в участии в рейтингах, мировых рейтингах, глобальных. Там очень важными показателями являются публикации в известных изданиях, так, и цитирование работ ученых. Вот чтобы помочь нашим ученым и помочь нашим университетам улучшить свои показатели в позициях публикаций научных и цитирований, вот мне кажется, было бы здорово создать мощную базу данных по таким публикациям с поиском, которая была бы структурирована по отраслям наук. Тогда нашим ученым, нашим университетам было бы легче не только находить информацию в публикациях коллег из других университетов, но их использовать для цитирования, их использовать для своей научной работы. Вот это наше второе предложение. И если позволите, я хотел бы, если позволите небольшое время, предоставить слово моему коллеге Тимофееву Виктору. Наш университет на последнем ученом совете выдвинул предложение, присвоил звание почетного доктора Бауманского технического университета основателю Альянса университетов Великого Шелкового пути, нашему большому другу, профессору Ван Шуго. Если позволите, мы вот об этом хотели бы сказать, и Виктор Тимофеев это сделает на английском языке. Спасибо. Спасибо.
Very much. I think it is honor, even though I'm not from Xi'an Chiao Tung University, but I think, I think it's an honor for the founder of user to receive this prestigious award. And I think they should be very happy, and we should be very happy, because this is an honor given to him as a leader of user. Okay, so I think you're basically supporting the roundtable on heritage and also on IT Techno Park. This is a massive task, which take a long time, but I think this will definitely provide great data, a base for big data that all of us can use, and then probably we can, even the different roundtables can make use of this this supercomputer to contain the information, the heritage information, all the information collected, and for example, the education models, etc., collected can be put into the supercomputer, and that can be open to used by user member. I think that would be a really great idea. Okay, so do we have other ideas? Just now, Laura from PolyU have suggested several initiatives, and I think those, like the summer school, I think, probably I suppose you won't disagree, because this will be an asset that will be open to other members, and we hope that other members can, tag in. Because I think that, for example, this Silk Road Summer School, you can add in subjects as well. That is, for example, now we have a center in Xi'an, and now it seems that we have a new center in Al-Arabi. So, for example, each summer we can have 2 summer schools, and then we can put in programs. For example, different universities, if you are interested like heritage, we can add a subject, credit-bearing subject here, and so that it become like a platform whereby we can offer our credit-bearing subjects in future. So I think this is something that we can be creative and then gradually add on to the summer school platform. And I think that would be extremely interesting, that the students from so many universities can come here or to Xi'an or to elsewhere or to Hong Kong. She's also suggesting in Hong Kong we have an international summer school. Every year we have around 300 students, and we can open up to students from other user countries as well. So we can work it out, the details, okay? So besides the summer school, the attachment program, the PhD program, I hope that these are agreeable and can open up. And I hope that besides PolyU and other universities like Ben-Hur University was just opening up some of their scholarships for PhD. So I think we hope that this become a pool. User can become a pool whereby different universities can put in your offers, like PhD scholarships or scholarship for, fellowship, student staff exchange, so we can have a pool of all these opportunities. And the member universities can just click onto the website. I hope they can use more English. So we can click on, and then you can send, the criteria, and then everybody can make use of this platform. So that is something that we can all chip in. Okay, regarding the scholarships, PhD, as well as a fellowship program. And what else? And also just now she proposed 2 additional roundtable. One is on infrastructure. So by infrastructure development, it means that in the Belt and Road countries, to support this development, there will be a lot of infrastructure development, like the highways, the transport system, buildings, ports, a lot of logistic development. So there will be many railway, high-speed rail, etc., aviation. So there will be a lot of infrastructure development that will be generated because of this Belt and Road initiative. And so so my colleagues are suggesting that besides the civil engineering and the technology, we need to be sensitive to the culture. For example, if you build a road across a certain country, you need to know the culture. You need to know their their religious belief, for example, whether it is polite or whether it's appropriate to build roads in this way or across certain areas, etc. So there are a lot of cultural issues that we have to be aware, so that these infrastructure developments will be culturally appropriate, rather than just using the modern model that we are used to in America, in UK or Hong Kong. So that is the meaning of intercultural and interdisciplinary collaboration on infrastructure development. So I know that everybody's tired, and we have 10 minutes before we finish. So do you have any, what are your suggestions? Do you think this is something that we can go forward on that round table?
Actually, when you have summer school, having faculty members from different countries in the summer school who can give the lectures on their own culture, make it even more cultural. So, I mean, if I have a summer school at Sabancı University, okay, I will have faculty members who can talk about the cultures, various cultures in Turkey. And then if I have a faculty member from PolyU, we can talk about the cultures in Hong Kong and China, or a faculty member from Kazakhstan, that can make it even more efficient.
Actually, I think that can be a byproduct of the summer school. That is, when we are teaching summer school, and if we invite teachers from different universities to be the lecturers, then the lecturers will become a little group as well. So the students know each other, and then the lecturers from the different universities will come together and they will form a group. Exactly. So that is another byproduct. So going back to the suggestion of a roundtable on infrastructure development, what are your views? Do you think it is something that the user can support?
And I would like to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Of course, the summer school should be long time, no problem. We just change the title. And as for fellowship, also will be nice if every university will offer such kind of financial support to students. But publications also will, and also vacancies of staffs, for example. But for making it very clear, we need to work very accurately with our website. What about University Alliance website, where we can find news concerning the activity of our alliance? For example, what's the title of roundtable, and who will organize the summer school, how many students? Maybe students will come and fix themselves directly to the site, for example. So it was very important to make activation of website.
Very urgent suggestion that we would like to make to the Secretariat, that the website should be updated and upgraded. I think there should be use more English and probably Russian and some other language, but I think at least in English first. And then we will urge them to do so by upgrading their website. Okay? Yeah.
I have one other thing. The Secretariat is not working properly in informing the executive members councils, and I didn't have the agenda till this morning. So Secretariat should work a little better so that we can be informed.
So we will relay your message to the Secretariat in Xi'an. Okay? So because I'm aware that the time is coming soon, so maybe I just suggest that for the round tables that we have suggested, we have several round tables on the table. You know, firstly is heritage. We have had some good discussion, and I think this is something that everybody seems to be very supportive. And you have already got a proposal. Maybe you just refine it a little bit more. And regarding the one on infrastructure development, I suggested, Laura, you can go back and work with our colleague to make a clearer proposal. I think they have already got the resources of running that roundtable, and similarly with the one on linguistic development. So, and also for Sabanci University, you suggested something on education model. So maybe you can send these proposals to the Secretariat. Maybe you can CC to Justina and Laura, because they will follow up properly.
Because this time, because the lack of the staff from the Xi'an University, we will help to take up the writing minutes and the follow-up actions on behalf of this.
Okay, so can I, you know, because in the interest of time, can I suggest some principles that we should adhere to when we develop the roundtable? Firstly, I think we must have a proposal, you know, very clear about the purpose and how does the, what do we expect for the members, the user members that is larger than the steering committee. If they want to join, what are the criteria for selecting them and for joining? And also the university that suggests this roundtable should be able to provide some resources. Not necessarily a lot of money, but at least you have to provide some administrative support, for example, and also maybe when the roundtable is being held in your university, then you can support some logistic arrangement, and you know, if possible, of course, the more the better. Okay, and then I suggest that if you are proposing a roundtable, if it is possible, try to have a co-organizer so that there's another leader. I'm sorry to say that in my past experience in a lot of networks, sometimes there can be some person who are very keen on a certain area. But if that person leaves, or, you know, if whatever, then that topic might be dropped. So we have to make sure that at least 2 or 3 universities are, you know, have ownership of that particular issue, so that the roundtable will continue. Yeah.
Just as a matter of principle, perhaps we could agree that alongside the practical support, the resources that you've mentioned, Angelina, you know, maybe some accommodation, some logistical support at the host university end. There can't be airfares. We can't pay airfares, because I know that there have in the past sometimes been uncertainties around that. So that if we could agree round this table that we're not in a position to offer airfares, then we can be entirely consistent on that principle. Does that seem sensible?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I think we should not give the pressure to universities, because sometimes, for example, some university might be more well endowed and you might be able to provide more, but that might not be the preceding case. Okay, so the general principle is that the organizer should provide on the ground logistics and support, and if possible some accommodation, but that is not mandatory. You know, we see what happened. But because I know that some countries, especially in the Belt and Road countries, we should not give pressure on them. Otherwise, it will stifle the initiative. And also, we should not let the richer countries to monopolize. Okay, so I think we should have this principle of, you know, sort of making it simple, but on the other hand, as supportive as possible, but not airfare. Yeah. Okay, so so those are the general principles we have suggested. So right now, is there any other suggestions that you would like to make besides the one that have already suggested? We have suggested heritage. We have suggested Inno Park. We have suggested roundtables on education model on infrastructure development, on linguistics, and then so these are the roundtables so far. That should be enough. And then we have student activities. So we have summer school that will be definitely held every year. So we have to work out the logistics of how to do it. Another one is the robotic competition that Xi'an Jiao Tong University is hosting. So we hope that they can continue. Okay, so we have at least 2 student activities for members of the network. So it's open to all, you know, the 140 something, 30 something. And then we have this roundtable. The roundtable, I think, is a little bit exclusive. That is, we need to have leader from this steering committee, but we can gently open up to the schools. But of course, we have to choose. You know, we have to have the criteria of choosing members. Otherwise, it will be unmanageable. Okay, so we have 2 student activities at least, and a few roundtables coming up next year, and definitely the one on heritage. And I understand that if the infrastructure and the linguistic is approved, then they will have the resources of doing so. They're committed to doing so. Okay, and I think the other thing that we would like to do is to urge Xi'an Jiao Tong University to upgrade the website. And if the website is upgraded and the administrative support is enhanced, then we'll be able to pull in the resources from all the universities. But don't have the pressure that you have to do so, okay? So if you have some PhD scholarship or some summer school places or some good programs that you would like to offer, let us know so that we can pool these resources, and then there can be a lot of exchange among the students. Okay, so what other things is there anything that you would like to suggest before we end? Yeah.
One of the major problems we are facing in Egypt is the relation between universities and industry. And I guess this is a problem, is a major problem for most of the universities, even on the new Silk Road. So could we suggest a roundtable to exchange expertise in that area, how to promote linkage between universities and the industrial company of all scales, big, medium scale, and small? This is one point. Another point is administrative point. May I continue? Yeah, another point, administrative point. Is it possible to get the emails of all participants so we can exchange, or the mailing list should be put on the site so we can go and pick and exchange messages on the internet? This is the second point. Third point, I would like to announce that Benha University Egypt is organizing the 2nd International Sino-Egyptian Congress next October, 7th to 10th October this year. So I am inviting all participants of the New Silk Road, present and even not present, to come to this international 2nd Sino-Egyptian conference. And its major focus is on engineering, agriculture, vet medicine. 3 major domains. So you can find that on our website, Benha University. And I may send the brochures to the Secretariat for diffusion on the site of the Silk Road. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So there's another suggestion on a roundtable on industry higher education collaboration. Okay, so maybe, I guess we welcome all these suggestions, but probably, you know, you come up with a proposal and then send to the Secretariat. And probably the Secretariat has to sequence, you know, so that we can have some coming up, because like the heritage one will definitely going to be held in spring 2018, and then some others will be held in 2018. And then according to Professor Shi, he is he hopes that we can come up with roundtable suggestions. So I think he will be more than happy because there's so many. So he's hoping that these roundtable will be a commitment for a few years, not just once. Okay, so at least these roundtables can become long-term commitments. So probably you can come up with the suggestions, but on the other hand, I will let him know so that probably we can help to develop a template for people to come and discuss, develop and fill in the form, something like that. Okay, is there any other suggestions that you would like to make before we close the meeting? Okay, yeah. No, you want to say that?
Banha University would like to organize next meeting, inshallah. Okay.
So thank you very much. I'll let them know and then probably decide and see when will be the next executive meeting to be held. Yeah. All right, you want to say something?
So on behalf of Xi'an Jiao Tong University also informed that there will be 5 new members who would like to join the USA, the big family, not the EC, but they didn't give the name now. Maybe later on they will circulate the name to us. Yeah.
Okay. In conclusion, you would like to? I just summarize, and then you can make the conclusion and see whether other things. So to summarize, we have discussed on many things regarding to the roundtable and possible suggestions of what we are going to. What are the activities to be held? It seems that we have quite a number of good ones. So we have to stabilize on the ones that will become regular. So every year we have an expectation on what will be done for students and what will be done for roundtable, etc. So I think we need to have a timetable on what will be happening and who will be in charge, etc. So this one, I think, please submit your proposal to the Secretariat. And probably because this time Xi'an Jiao Tong University is not here, so you can make a copy to Laura, Laura Low, from PolyU, and she will definitely help in writing the minutes as well as following up with Xi'an Jiao Tong University. And also Justina, I want to introduce Justina. Dr. Justina Yong. She is in charge of the PolyU Silk Road Silk Road Liaison Office, okay? So they will be supporting Xi'an Jiao Tong University. And we will ask them to do several things. The first thing, most important, is to upgrade the website so that you can put all the information there. And also you need the mailing list. So I suppose the mailing list may not be, should not be put in the website because otherwise you might be overwhelmed with a lot of email for requests from all these 100-something university or even more. So I suggest that maybe I can ask Laura to ask the Secretariat to send all of you a mailing list of the steering committee members.
Well, in the website, you can have member area.
Yeah,
Use
no,
this password.
they don't have it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Because it's like the intranet thing. So I think in future we'll do that. But right now, probably we just have this sent to you first and as a record so that you can send to the mailing list of all the steering committee members. And probably we need 2 persons. One is your rector, the chief, and then another person is the one who do things like Laura. So I think that is more practical so that you will receive email and will be informed properly. So probably we'll work with Xi'an Jiao Tong University to give you a list with at least 2 names. One is the rector or the chief, probably without a personal email, but at least we know the name. But another person is the name of the person in charge that you can, the administrator, that you can contact. Okay? And regarding the next executive committee, those that are interested to host the next executive committee can let the Secretariat know. But I have to ask them whether they would like to hold it in Xi'an or whatever. So I have to ask them because I'm not in charge. Okay? So before we close the meeting, can we ask the rector, you say something to conclude? Because we would like to thank Al-Farabi National University for hosting this executive committee. And then, you have really organized it very well. And we will also like to thank Nazarbayev University, because tomorrow our members will be all visiting Nazarbayev University, and then we will be going to the place where President Xi announced this Belt and Road Initiative. Would you like to say a few words about tomorrow arrangement and welcome them?
Sorry. I think all of you have the program of the visit on 26. So you will be met by our senior management. We'll have some talks on what was done in the framework of USAR. And also you will visit our campus. You will visit expo sites. Of course, and some meetings. So I hope you will like it, the visit.
Okay. So Professor Makash is asking me about the next rotating chair. So the chair will be tied up to the place where the next executive committee will be held. So I cannot make this decision today. So because I haven't got the suggestion from Professor Xi. So probably those universities that are interested in holding the next executive committee can write to the secretariat and CC to Laura saying that you are interested. And if so, what kind of provision you can make, for example, to host that executive committee, and when is the preferred time.
Whom should
you should
write?
write to the, Laura will let you know. So it should be the Xi'an Jiao Tong University Secretariat. But I think this time...
Later on, I will send you the email address and also my name cards. So you can, once I receive, I will forward to the secretary.
So I think what we are going to, PolyU is going to do is that we are going to write the minutes. And then we're going to send you a list of all the steering committee representative as well as 2 persons. One is the chief in charge as well as the staff that you can contact. So we will send you the list. Also, I think we will clarify with the Xi'an Jiao Tong University who should we write to, because there are many persons, they have 5 or 6 persons. So we will let you know who is the chief person that you can contact in future. Definitely not Professor Xi, otherwise, he's too busy. So probably we will find out who is the person that will be the chief of staff, okay? And then finally, yeah.
Maybe before my rector, can I ask if you make the correction to memorandum of understanding, and you found several mistakes and will be agree if you will change and send directly to the universities to sign the memorandum? What do you think about that?
Okay, so for the memorandum, the MOU that prepared by Al-Farabi University, we would like to thank you very much, because it seems that so far, even though it's the 3rd executive committee, but we have got a joint declaration on the user, but we haven't got an MOU of what are the things that we are going to work together. Okay, so I think it is a very good suggestion to have an MOU. So I will discuss with Professor Xi on this proposal and probably expand it so that we can include like summer school or joint sharing of some resources. Not mandatory, but at least we can write it in a way that will include the things that you have suggested, like Park, etc. So I think I will discuss with him and work out MOU, and will be circulated among you for your endorsement. And after we have circulated and you agree to the, the terms and the words, etc., then we can sign it. Okay? So thank you very much for, I think this is excellent because it helps us to have something to work on because so far we haven't. But I think it takes time because it is only until now that we have a clearer idea of what to do. And thank you so much for Alvarado University, especially Professor Makash, for developing this frame, this base foundation, so that we can further elaborate. So I have to let Professor Shi know, and then they can work on that. So finally, I would like to ask Rector.
Thank you very much, Angelina. Unfortunately, I cannot very well speak in English. I very feeling comfortable when I speak in Russia or Kazakh. Let me.
We have very good translation.
We have a good translation. Во-первых, я хотел поблагодарить всех участников нашей встречи за то, что вы нашли время, несмотря время каникулярное, летнее. Вот. И очень важно, что мы, участники очень крупного мирового уровня проекта, который дает большие результаты в перспективе. 2 года назад этот проект был начат в Сиане, где было историческое начало шелкового пути. В новых условиях уже мы представляем для себя в новых условиях новый шелковый путь. И, конечно, каждый раз, когда мы обсуждаем, когда собираемся, очень много идей приходит, очень интересные предложения. Это, на самом деле, показывает, что мы все заинтересованы создать реальный проект. И так как мы все представляем сферу образования и науки, это наиболее перспективный путь развития шелкового пути, нового шелкового пути. Поэтому, я думаю, образование науки будет основой развития нового шелкового пути. И те предложения, которые сегодня были озвучены, они очень интересны. По ценностям, историческим ценностям, по наследию, они всегда должны сопровождать нашем пути, потому что хорошо зная историю, те достижения, которые были до нас, мы можем развить наше будущее. Поэтому я полностью поддерживаю идею Ливерпульского университета, что мы, конечно, в своей работе всегда руководствовались теми ценностями, которые мы уже имеем. И что касается предложения нашего университета, это дает нам очень хорошую возможность перевести нашу работу на качественный уровень, цифровой уровень. Мы благодарны представителю Китайской Народной Республики Цзиньпину. В 2015 году при встрече 2 глав государств нашего президента Нурсултана Назарбаева и Цзиньпина впервые была озвучена идея о создании IT-технопарка стран Шелкового пути. И в этом году этот проект уже реализуется в виде китайского гранта, как подарка для нас суперкомпьютера. Я думаю, все участники очень хорошо представляют возможности такого суперкомпьютера. Это позволяет нам, вот еще раз я хотел подчеркнуть, перевести нашу работу в цифровой формат, использовать возможности цифровой технологии, как вы говорили, большие big data, облачное вычисление. Это, на самом деле, очень хорошая перспектива. Поэтому вот нам хотелось, вот этот проект, в принципе, уже начат. Мы надеемся, в ближайшее время, в сентябре, получим суперкомпьютер. Вот мы сейчас занимаемся об установке вот данного оборудования. И, конечно, разрабатываем концепцию. Эта концепция будет вам разослана. И нам хотелось, вот, мы вместе вот, использовали такую возможность. А для этого, вот, в свою очередь, наш университет вместе с городским правительством будем инфраструктуру создать соответствующую. И я думаю, вот такие возможности вот, дают нам перспективу работать, находясь в разных точках вот, шелкового пути, общаться, проводить общие работы, и в том числе и обучать студентов, привлекать студентов. Поэтому был предложено вот, вместе рассмотреть вопросы вот, национальных платформ по МУКСу, массовому онлайн-курсу. Потому что мы знаем, каждый университет имеет свою платформу, очень хорошие они. Этими благами пользуются их студенты в основном. А когда мы будем объединять наши усилия, будем обмениваться курсами, я думаю, это будет доступно для всех студентов Альянса университетов «Шелкового пути». И это, на самом деле, будет обеспечивать непрерывное наше и поддерживать нашу работу. И, я думаю, будут интересны другие предложения, вот как университет Сабанчи сделал. И, я думаю, новые наши члены Альянса также будет интересно предлагать свои интересные проекты. А вот когда есть идея, когда есть желание, я думаю, мы преодолеем хороший путь. Вот. Есть хорошая восточная пословица. Вот. Путь преодолеет, кто будет идти. Я думаю, мы правильно шагаем вместе. Это все делается ради будущего, ради стабильности и ради устойчивого развития в целом. Потому что мы представляем вот университет, который является хабом ООН по устойчивому развитию. И мы вот где-то осенью хотим провести 2 презентации Объединенных Наций. Это первая презентация, это согласно идеи, вот, это согласно проекту ООН, это Global Citizenship, это, и у нас свое видение, свое предложение. Это мы будем презентовать проект формирования граждан добродетельного общества совместно с Альянсом цивилизации ООН. Второй проект, так как мы являемся хабом по устойчивому развитию, второй проект – это презентация роли университетов в обеспечении устойчивого развития. Куда мы также вас приглашаем активно участвовать. Об этом мы дополнительно вам дадим информацию. Вот такая миссия, как глобальный хаб ООН, нас обязывает, поэтому мы в этом году выдвигаем 2 проекта для университетов мира. Ну, это наше видение, вот, что касается глобального нашего участия в глобальном мире. Вот. А что касается Альянса университетов «Шелкового пути», я считаю, мы в правильном направлении двигаемся. Караван идет. Ну, мы рады, что нет собак, которые лают. Потому что все понимают, это все для нас, это важно, нужно, полезно. Вот в этой связи я хотел особенно поблагодарить Сианский университет за секретариат, за большую проведенную работу. Нашего общего друга, президента этого университета, который удостоился чести быть почетным доктором такого уважаемого университета, Бауманского технического университета. И хотел бы особенно поблагодарить представителей Гонконгского университета во главе ректора Тимоти, Политехнического технического университета. Не 10 назад он был здесь. Предварительно такие же вопросы мы с ним обсудили. Было полное понимание. И мы будем планировать, принимать активное участие в 80-летнем юбилее этого университета, который будет проводиться в конце года. Чем я поздравляю всех представителей этого университета во главе Анджелины Ян. А Анджелину еще раз хотел бы выразить огромное спасибо от себя, от нас всех участников за такую прекрасную работу. Как модератор, как профессионал своего дела и как человек, который очень много делает, чтобы этот проект состоялся и развивался. Этому свидетелем являются вот наши летние школы. Это совместные образовательные программы. И нам хотелось с каждым из вас, представителем университета, иметь такие совместные проекты, как Гонконгским университетом. Мы открыты. И мы сейчас после нашей встречи будут прямые переговоры. Тогда будет у нас хорошая возможность обсудить более детально. Еще раз поблагодарю вас за хорошую работу.
Thank you, Rector, for his support. And we thank ourselves for this meeting. So we have 2.5 hours of meeting, but I think it has been very fruitful, and I think this is a milestone in our development. So as you, Rector have just said, if there is a will, there's a way. So let us make it work. Thank you very much. Yeah.